Hey there, guys. Welcome back to another Bobby Pins Artist Spotlight. Today I have songwriter, arranger, Heart of the Pen. He'll be joining us to talk about his latest release, his LP featuring three. Hey, welcome back. I don't know what just happened. I lost service, it looks like. But I'm back. And yeah, we are waiting for Heart of the Pen to join us today to talk about his latest project, Press Play. He sets the vibes, y'all. He is loading up right now, right now. Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's good? How you doing?
I'm good. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Bobby Pin's Artist Spotlight.
Hey, what's up? Let me first by start out saying to you why excuse me, while we're getting this thing started. It is a honor and a pleasure to be here with the beautiful, talented, and iconic Bobby Pin.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
I'm very grateful to be interviewed by you. So this is like a dream come true almost to me. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for being here and thank you for your kind words. So, talk to me a little bit about your artistry. You are known as Heart of the Pen. So how'd you come up with that name?
I came up with the name because at the time I was looking for, I guess, like a cool name to have as a songwriter. And I don't remember entirely what the situation was, but I do know I looked up there was a artist that had a name kind of similar to that, but not quite. So I kind of took part of that, and then I kind of added my own little flavor to it, and that's how I came up with Heart of the Pen.
All right.
So
So, what part of the country are you from? You from Tennessee, you said, right?
yes, I was originally born in Cleveland, Ohio, but I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, went to school there, graduated out of high school, all that good jazz. And then about 4 years ago, I moved from Chattanooga to Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay. So, tell me about how your Southern influences plays into the music that you produce.
I don't know if it's Southern influence so much. I think it's more so most of my music is R&B music, and I'm a big lover of R&B music. I mean, I love hip hop too. Don't get me wrong. But R&B has always held a special place in my heart. I've always loved great voices, great vibes. The songwriting was always a very big important part of me loving the music because I felt like back then the R&B music, it really spoke to you. It really said something. It had
Who
meaning.
who were some artists you like?
Um, I like hey, I'm sorry, but let me give a shout out to my vocalist Joey Diggs Jr. He's on here. What's up, man? Thank you for joining. He's one of my main artists that I work with that puts his vocals behind my songwriting, and we make a great tandem. So I just had to I had to shout him out because I just saw that he's on here. So with that being said, I think the question was, what are some of the artists that I listen to I like?
Right.
Um, I grew up on people like R. Kelly. He's a big inspiration for me as far as his artistry goes, his production, how he puts music together. I think he's a musical genius in spite of other things that we won't mention. But I've always admired his work in that aspect. I like people like Tank. I grew up on people like Avant, Jaheim, SWV, Escape, um, 112, Jagged Edge. Like those are my people that I really
Yeah.
enjoy listening to. Some of those artists are still out today. Tony Braxton is another one. I'm a big fan of her. Kiki Wyatt, who I think is
That's
very
God. You naming all the jams.
Yeah, yeah. Kiki White, she's very, at least in my opinion, she's very underrated as a vocalist. That girl can sing her butt off. But she's somebody who I enjoy listening to. I'm trying to think of some other people. Music Soul Child, that's another one. Who I also think is very underrated as well. But a great vocalist, a great writer, and stuff like that. So, those are people that I really enjoy listening to back then, and the ones that I enjoy listening to them now. I also like people like Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Usher. Who's also from Chattanooga, Tennessee, by the way. So yeah.
So, all right. So talk to me about your lyrical context. I mean, obviously you've grown up and studied some amazing vocalists and lyrics that, like you said, mean something that really speak to the heart. So how do you draw your own lyrics? Because I wanna play a little bit of one of your tracks, all in Heart of the Pen.
Yeah,
Is it cool if I do this?
yeah, yeah. Man, it's all love.
I'm just saying.
Appreciate that.
You really saying something.
That's Junior, by the way.
That's all I'm gonna let them have. That's all I'm gonna let y'all have. But I mean, you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
really saying something.
yeah, the vocalist, that's the vocalist, Junior, who I spoke of earlier. He's the vocalist of that track. And yeah, as far as how I get my inspiration for song, well, first off, let me say this to people that are on here who don't really know what I do exactly and how I do what I do. I'm a songwriter and I'm a songwriter only. I'm not a singer. I write and I arrange songs. I give them to artists who I work with. They put their vocals behind my songwriting. Then I take the song and I push and promote the song to promote me as the actual songwriter. So it's almost kind of like a DJ Khaled approach, but more so from a songwriter standpoint. So I want to make sure that I made that clear. Because some people, when they hear some of the records I do, they assume that I'm also the singer. I'm like, no, I'm not the singer. God didn't bless me with that talent, but He did bless me with the ability to write and come up with concepts and stuff. So
Well,
that's what
there's
I
people definitely in the chat right now. They recognize the
do.
song. Somebody said All In is definitely one of their favorites. Tracks
Yeah,
That Bang said he loves that track. So
yeah. Those are a few of my fans that come to join the live. So appreciate y'all for the kind words. Appreciate y'all for
hey,
joining me.
look, they love you. Let's talk about that. So how did
Hey,
you write this song that everybody is saying that they love?
yes,
DJ Radio Raheem said you dope, bro.
yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, these are a few people that really have rocked with my music for a long time. The guy, Track That Bangs, he's a producer, very talented producer. He's been rocking with me since almost the beginning. Me and him, we
So how
actually,
do you find the people that work with you? You write the songs, and then you find a vocalist to execute it, and then you also find a producer to bring it to. How does that work? How do you do that?
it's really more so about networking, basically, more so than anything. I network, I go out and I network and I meet certain people. And when I start working with them, if we vibe good, then we continue to work. There's people I've worked with for a good minute, then I've ended up, switching up and working with some other people. It just depends. Just depends on the situation.
But
Depends
how
on.
do you find them? Online? From
Oh well,
you go to
yeah,
events? Are
yeah.
they all in Tennessee with you, or are they in
Um,
different places?
yeah, I mean, I find them in different ways. A lot of it, most of it is online. I would give out one gym. There's a place called Sound Better, which is
Hmm.
where I met, Junior from. Very dope site, has a lot of talented producers, artists. Just like whatever that you need or want there, that's a good place to go and collab and meet people and go through the process of making records and all that kind of stuff. So that's one place I would say I would advise a lot of artists and people to go to soundbetter.com. and that's like I said, that's where I met Junior at. One of the producers that are on here, I met him through a mutual acquaintance at the time. She was doing some music stuff, and she introduced me to him. And then me and him, we started vibing. And like I said, we've been cool and vibing for like years now. So,
So do you
DJ.
start with your beats and then write to, yeah, do you like pick a producer and write to their beat, or do you already have the lyrics and then you find like you execute how you want it to sound? How do you do that?
All right. Well, to answer your question, the process is pretty much like this. Most of the time, I already have the track that I'm going to write to. I go on certain sites or certain pages, and I may see or I may hear a song that I like, and I go through the proper channels of getting that record so I can be able to actually, be creative on it. Once I do that, I pretty much like Junior's, he's one of my main vocalists that I work with, so I already have connect with him. So basically, with the track, I come up with a concept, and depending on how the track moves me at the time, it dictates what kind of concept and vibe I'm gonna, write to.
Okay.
Once I do that, once I wrote to the track and create the melody and all that kind of stuff, then I record what they call a rough recording. And trust me when I say it's very rough because I'm not. But in any case, I record the rough vocals, and then so when I do that, then I get with my singer, artist, whatever, and I pass the information on to him. Basically, he has everything that he needs. He has the track, the song lyrics, and of course, a rough recording. It gives him an idea of where I'm going with it vocally. Then he takes that from there. He uses that as a guide, and then he imprints his vocal capability to make it stand out more, along with what I've already given him. And then once we do that, he sends me back the record. The record's good. I approve it. I have it mixed. Shout out to please, I don't want to forget where I'm on the spot. My mixer. I'll come back to that. But anyway, I get the song mixed. It's mixed by my guy, Goldie Sound Production. Shout out to Goldie Sound Production for always making my music sound great. The guy there, his name is Adrian. He does an awesome job mixing my record. I send the records to him. He has it mixed. Get it mixed, then I get it mastered, and there you go.
Okay, okay. So tell me about some of your goals. Where do you hope to see your music placed one day?
That is a good question. That's a good question. And the reason why it's a good question is because, and this is me really being transparent and as honest as I can be. I'm really kind of like at a crossroads right now with my music and my life in general, if I'm just being frank, as far as what I need to be doing, where I need to be, where is that, where is that God wants me to be. Because for me, it definitely starts with God. And I give Him all the glory and all the praise for my success and my blessings and me being able to do what I do. Because it starts with Him, and if it's not for Him, I would be nothing, and my music wouldn't be where it is now. So that's first and foremost. But um, you know, what I do know right now is that I just want my music to be able to make people feel good. I want my music to be able to touch people. I want to be able to put out quality substance music that to stand the test of time. Where it goes from here, if it goes on the charts, if it gets me a Grammy or whatever, that's all great. I take it, but it's not something that I'm necessarily like trying to push to get at the moment. I'm not saying that I'm discounting that. I'm just saying right now I'm just really honestly speaking at a weird place in my life where I'm still trying to figure life out. I'm still trying to figure out my journey. It may end with music, it may not. Right now this is 2021 and I'm making some major changes in my life, both on a professional level and a personal level. So with me, you never know what you're gonna get right now. You may get some more R&B, I have started tapping into doing poetry with also music, more so like spoken word music mixed in with R&B. I've tapped into it a little bit. I haven't really pushed it as much, but that may be something that I might be doing a little bit more of this year. And like I said, I got some other personal goals and other things that I'm trying to do and I'm going through. So who knows? With me, I'm like an open book right now. But I do know that whatever it is that I'm doing, if I do want to affect change in a positive way, however that it goes.
Okay. Well, definitely wish you luck. My 2 cents that you didn't ask for. But I feel like it's easier to reach a goal when it's clearly defined. I'll say that.
Right.
But, I definitely respect everybody's journey. Everybody is, free to figure it out the way that they want and need to. Um, but I believe in speaking things into existence. And when I say I can't wait to make my million, that means I want my million. um,
Agreed. Agreed.
but yeah, so what are your thoughts on the current state of R&B? I think R&B is in an amazing place right now. There's so many styles, there's so many directions that you can take it. You got kind of edgier lyrical content, you got more traditional love and romantic content. You got the gritty vocalist, you still got the silky solid, the silky smooth balladers. Like R&B is amazing right now. We even got pop and B. I call it pop and B, like what Chris Brown does. So, what are your thoughts on the current state of R&B?
Oh man, I mean, it's funny to hear you say that because if I'm being frank, I don't think that R&B is at the greatest place that it could be, and that's me just being frank. Um, I think that R&B right now is too. What's the word I'm looking for? I think R&B is all over the place. Some for the good, some for the not. I think that a lot of times when you listen to R&B music of today, you know, it's a lot of people trying to imitate R&B into hip hop. And while some people may think that's a good thing, it's good, but then it's bad because for me, anytime you listen to a what's supposed to be an R&B record, and you can't even, and it's so blended in with other stuff that you can't even recognize the genre on its own, then to me that's a problem because even with hip hop and other genres, they have a set style, a set definition of what made them what they were, that made people fall in love with them. I think with R&B, it's so blended in with hip hop mainly and other stuff to a point where it's hard to really tell a good R&B record not nowadays. And this is not me being the old Grinch that wants to um um be negative toward today's R&B, because some today's R&B is pretty good to an extent. I tend to lean more towards the indie R&B of people that you probably have never heard than I do with today's young and up and coming R&B that's more so mainstream. Now there are a few mainstream I like. I like her. Um, what's the other female? I cannot think of her name right now. Um, but I know her. Um, was there like two? I know there are two other females other than her that I do like. That are really good. I can't think of their names right offhand. But they're really popular and they're really popping. So I like them and maybe a few other people. But for the most part, what I wish R&B could get back to, and I think slowly but surely it's kind of trying to get back there, depending on the artist. Um, I wish R&B would have more better songwriting, meaning writing that really speaks and talks to you, speaks to a woman, speaks to even a man to a certain degree. Songs are more substance. I really wish R&B would kind of get back to. I wish that there were better voices, and I pressed on the word voices because yeah, there are a lot of artists that'll try to sing with auto tune and all that stuff. But I want to hear a voice. I want to hear somebody that can really blow and
But
really
see,
take.
that's where I feel like we have a lot of that. The question is, where are you looking? And you mentioned indie artists, so that's good that you are not just looking at surface level. But I follow accounts like Saucy Vocals or, Singers Room, things like that. There are amazing artists. Devon Culture, a new up and coming R&B artist coming out of DC. Kevin Ross, Raheem Devon, uh, Sean Stockman, Cisco, and Omar Wilson just did a remake of Secret Garden. They killed that.
Some of those,
Who
some of those,
else?
some of those artists that you mentioned are artists that have been out for a while anyway.
Okay, so
So
Nordab Ashton. I really like. Well, I don't know if you would agree, but I like Sid's voice from the internet. I'm in love with Luke James, BJ the Chicago Kid. You know what I mean? Like it's quality R&B. Ari Lennox. Um, Jasmine Sullivan's new project just came out. That is amazing. Like I don't know. I don't have any complaints. I feel like whatever kind of R&B you want, it exists. And I think personally, we can totally agree to disagree. But I like that I can choose my mood for that day. That I don't have to be I'm going down or listening to. And I love Tank, so don't get me wrong. But listening to Tank apologize for the eighth time for cheating on me, right? Like we get that. All right, but yeah, I do want to turn up and listen to some Chris Brown while I'm getting ready. It still makes me feel sexy. It still makes me feel flirty, but it's not really it's not really full out trap music either. So I don't know. I like the diversity in R&B. I think it's a good thing. I think it shows a lot of progress, and it's
right.
moved the genre forward in a way that I don't think R&B was ever dead, but there was a period where people were questioning that, and you could understand why. As opposed to right now, R&B is alive and thriving and evolving and, like growing new legs and mutating. I think that's cool. I think it's a good thing.
I think that R&B is definitely not dead. I think that it's alive. And some of those artists that you did name are pretty dope. But at the same token, I do believe that it can be better. The genre as a whole can still be better. It can still grow. We can still have more talented artists. I think that the industry, to a certain degree, they kind of watered down certain artists that really want to really sing, or create content of R&B substance, and they get them in this mode that they have to do what's popping now or what's trendy now. And I think that kind of
You gotta sell
deflate.
records, man.
I
You
mean,
ain't like it's a business at the end of the day. These record companies gotta make their money.
I know, but at the end of the day, I'm to speak from a fan standpoint.
If I
I
can't
can only
TikTok
tell
to it, what we gonna do?
you. I'm sure that people figure it out. But with that being said, I just I understand it as a business, but I'm just speaking from a fan standpoint. And what a lot of fans, people that kind of resonate with what I'm saying, can agree with. I just believe it could be better. I'm not saying that it's totally bad to the point where there's nothing that you can listen to from an R&B standpoint. I just think that it can still be better. There are artists that are making strides, like you did mention, and I give
And
you
the
that.
artists that you know and love are still making music. All the people you
Yeah,
named, Tank is still making music. Kiki Wyatt goes live regularly. Tamia and Deborah Cox just did the talk on like Wednesday morning, and they
okay.
sung "That's What Friends Are For," and that was like dope. So I don't know. I'm just like, if you want the classic sound, those people are still alive and well, and they still putting
Yeah,
out music. But if you
yeah.
want a progressive sound, it exists in a way that it has never before. I just think that's really exciting.
I mean, I don't mind the progressive sound. I just don't want to be so too progressive to the point that I can't recognize
In
if it's
fact, I
really
think
R&B.
isn't it a new
or-
genre? Is it called progressive R&B? Like
I,
I think some of
I
the
think.
award shows have actually separated it out, so it's its own kind of sound now.
I mean, I don't know for sure. I know there's something called trap and B. I'm like, really, like
Yeah.
when R&B ever became trap? Like, I don't understand it. And again, that just goes to my point. R&B is now trap to a certain degree. It's like, no, I don't want R&B to be trap. No, keep that with hip hop or whatever. You know, that's all I'm saying. I don't want R&B to be so this and that or so progressive that I don't even recognize it as R&B. I can't say that about hip hop. Now don't get me wrong, hip hop, you
So
know,
you keep
it
saying that. I think about the drill movement that's happening now. I think Chicago started it off. Now New York has a drill sound. That sounds unlike any hip hop before. They ain't even rapping on beat. They use a lot of, and now I'm about to sound like a real nerd, but y'all remember this word from elementary school, onomatopoeia. They use a lot of like the gun sounds and stuff, and like there are a lot of, I would even say tribal elements that go into the drill sound. Drill doesn't sound like what Big Daddy Kane and them was doing. It doesn't sound like Outkast. It doesn't sound like Common. It doesn't sound like Wale. You know what I mean? So like, all music is evolving.
yeah, but there still needs to be a balance even with the and I may be making this word up, but it needs to be a balance with the evolvation. And I may have made that word up, but you know what I'm trying to say. It
Evolution.
needs to it needs to be a balance between it evolving but still not losing its originality to what the true meaning of that genre sounds like. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Give me some involvement, but also keep certain elements there where that it's not overshadowed by all these new toys and all these new sounds. That's all I'm saying. You give me a balance, then I'm happy. If you give me over this involvement thing and over sounds and trappish and all that stuff, to me, it's not R&B anymore. It might as well be something else. You
Yeah.
know, this is where I stand with it. You know.
So talk to me about your LP Press Play. It's
All right.
available now.
Yes. Press Play. It consists of three R&B records. All written and arranged by me, featuring the artist Junior, produced by different producers. I'm trying to think. It was something I was gonna say. I had it top of my brain, but it's gone now. But anyway, that's yeah. The project is available for purchase only. Um, it's on beatstars.com, and I meant to put the link in there, but I think I gave you the link. I think when I gave you the information or whatnot. But in any case, you can check it out on beatstars.com. If you go to the site, just type in Heart of the Pen. The EP will come out called Press Play. It's $3 to purchase. The reason why I entitled it Press Play is because it's really a project that you just click play and play it all the way through. It plays really good in the whip. The records are smooth. The vocalist is even smoother. The beats are dope in my opinion, and the content is very meaningful and it's relatable.
All right. Well, thank you. So what's next for you? What you working on now?
What's next for me? Music wise, I know I'm gonna continue to promote this project. I'm working on some new stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put out another R&B project or, like I say, if I'm gonna go a little bit toward the spoken word part, like I mentioned to you earlier. But either way, some music will be coming from me in the coming months. But my main objective is to continue to promote this project because I really want people to hear it and enjoy it and really just, get something from this project because this is these are some great records, and I'm glad that you had a chance to listen to it. And I'm gonna assume that All In was your favorite record on the project, so
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
All right. Where can everybody keep up with you so that way we can keep Press and Play on Press Play and we're there when you drop your next one?
Yes, on here on I'm on IG, Instagram under Songwriter Heart of the Pen. That's all one word. Songwriter Heart of the Pen. I have a Facebook page, a fan page that's just strictly called Heart of the Pen. So you can go to Facebook, type in Heart of the Pen, and the page come up. You can follow me there. My personal page, you can follow me there as well because I post a lot of my content on there as well. It's under LeBron Baker. Once again, that's under LeBron Baker. I'm on YouTube, also as Songwriter Heart of the Pen. Once again, YouTube, Songwriter Heart of the Pen. Trying to think, make sure. Think those are my main outlets for the most part that you can reach me at. If you're on BeatStars, I'm on there as Heart of the Pen as well. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. Please, please, please purchase the project if you can. Some of you guys have already purchased it that are on here, so I do appreciate the love and the support for that. But once again, it's called Press Play. It's on beatstars.com. $3 to purchase, and it's a very dope project. And if I can leave one last word before we go, because this is something that I've been talking about since the beginning of this year, and I've been sharing with more so for the indie artists, indie producers, and stuff like that. Um, Support your people, support your indie artists. They put in a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and money and hard work to deliver a project that they really feel passionate about, that they want you to enjoy. So it's okay to stream the indie artist work, but really show your support by actually buying the record, because that goes even further than you streaming. Anybody can stream a record. I can stream records and that's all good. But these people really invest a lot of their time and their efforts in really trying to put out great content and doing what they love to do for themselves, but also for you. So I would encourage and I would encourage anybody to any artist that you know that puts out great content that you like, that you can relate to, go ahead on and spend that $1 or $2 or whatever how much that it costs. Go ahead on and spend the money on them, because you know it's gonna be well worth spent, and that really helps the artist out. I'm somebody who put my money where my mouth is. I've purchased, a lot of indie artist stuff. So I'm doing the same. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So please try to do the same when you're here. Now let's all just try to support one another.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Heart of the Pen. I did enjoy your project, and I look forward to, keeping up with you and watching what you do next.
Well, I thank you once again for the opportunity. This was a very great experience. I think that you're very dope. I think that you have great content. I've followed you for years. I will continue to follow you and support you. And God bless you.
Thank you. Have a good Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and I appreciate you for tuning in and joining me for another Bobby Pins Artist Spotlight. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that follow button. I do interviews like these with emerging artists, authors, business owners, as well as celebrities, often here on Instagram, as well as on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Bobby Pin. You can also learn to build your own media brand and put yourself on academies, build a media brand. It is live now. Visit putyourselfonacademy.com. And my podcast is back, okay? Put Yourself On Podcast is available on 13 platforms: Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Play. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find me. So again, I thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share this live with somebody, and I'll catch you next time.